Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today, for joining us today, me and the cats, because the cats are always the one that bring their wisdom into this. So I decided to call it Feline Wisdom Summit just to change it up every once in a while. They are the reason why I'm doing this, really. They are the ones that share so much information with me. And this time, it, I was I was kind of guided to talk about crossing over today. I know it is not the happiest of subjects to talk about, but there have been so many cats crossing over in the last, let's say, month or two, just alone in my personal circle, in my membership circle, in my personal friendship circle. There were so many cats that crossed over. So I thought I need to ask what is going on, right? Because sometimes they cross over in larger numbers than usual, and I just want to know, is there anything going on, or what exactly, why is it that so many cats are leaving right now? And many cats leave very unexpectedly. Those cats that I personally had worked with, my personal friends or my members or my clients, they crossed over pretty unexpectedly. So I just wanted to ask what's going on right now, because there's always a reason when there's so many cats or dogs or animals or even people crossing over. There's usually a bigger reason behind that. And during these calls, I have three questions that I asked the Cat Collective. This time it was more of a conversation that I had. I said, why are you crossing over? What is the benefit for us? And I don't want to call it benefit, really, because I know if you're here and if you lost a cat recently, my heart goes out to you. I know how hard it is to lose a beloved cat companion. So if you have recently lost a cat, know that my heart is with you. I understand. I know your pain. I know what you're going through. And it may be hard to hear the word benefit because it's really not a benefit, right? Because we miss them, we lost them, they left a huge gap in our lives. But for lack of a better word, I asked, why are you crossing over? Why is it better for us? Because they say they're doing us a service. And I said, but what's the service to us? We want you in the physical, right? So that is why I called it the benefit for us humans. So please bear with me. We are going to ask, why is there a little, let's say, silver lining when one of them leaves us? And last but not least, I wanted to talk about, in general, when a cat is sick, how should we best handle it? It's not about medical advice. It's always about taking him to the vet, right? If there's anything wrong, please take him to the vet. But it's more about how do we best handle a situation when they're sick or when they're recovering, when they came home from the hospital, from the vet. How do we best manage this situation? Because we feel helpless, we feel guilty, we feel bad. Our cats are lying there, they're sick, and we feel really bad about it, but it doesn't help them. So how do we best handle the situation? That's the third part today. So let's just get started. All right, so for those who are new to me, for those who have not heard from me before, who kind of stumbled across this, who am I? I'm a cat whisperer. I'm an author, an intuitive, an Ascension guide, and I help people make a true, deep soul connection with their cats and have a deep understanding of what their cat is in their lives for and what their cat does for them and what the service of the cat is to them. Everything I share, I always say that everything I share comes directly from the cats. I do not recite from textbooks, from cat books, from scientific studies about cats. I have read the studies. I am a licensed cat psychologist or cat behaviorist, but really the truth of what I share comes directly from the cats. I'm an animal communicator, or let's say an interspecies communicator. I have spoken to thousands and thousands of cats on this side of the veil, on the other side of the veil, cats are crossed over, and everything, all the wisdom that I share in these summits or in my books and my teachings come directly from the cats. All right. So I channeled the Cat Collective last week to make sure that I have the right topic. What is it that they want to share with all of you on this month's summit? And I channel the collective of cats on this planet. They basically speak to me just like any other channel, any other channeling. I dive deep into their consciousness and then they give me information. And if any of you wonder, how do the cats know all this? They're just cats, right? And of course, if you've been with me for a while, you know they're not just cats. You know that they are very wise. You know that they are very much connected to nature, to cosmic consciousness, to the divine, and they're very much connected to the cloud of universal knowledge. It's some people call it universal the cloud, some people call it the Akashic record, some people call it consciousness, whatever you call it, it really doesn't matter. Just imagine that all the information out there about the past, present, future, everything is stored in a cloud, like a computer cloud, right? Like information is stored, data is stored in a computer. And this cloud can be accessed by us, by anyone who has the ability, anyone who knows how to do it. We can access this information. That's how people channel. That's how I give readings when I work with you on a one-on-one basis, or when we're going to make a little space for Q&A at the end. When we do the Q&A at the end, and I might tap into your field, give you information. Anybody can access this information. We can do it if we know how to, if we allow ourselves to. But let's say the cats do it naturally. The cats are very much connected. They don't have that mind clutter that we have. They're very much connected, and they instinctively tap in to this cloud of universal knowledge. They call it the sea of consciousness. So they say they're naturally dipped in the sea of consciousness. And that is how they channel information. That is how they know about you. Your cat knows about you and your path and your soul contracts and what you're supposed to do in this lifetime. And that's how they are our best guides, our spiritual guides, because they can tell you what you're supposed to do. They can tell you when you're maybe not on your highest soul path. They can tell you what's wrong if you are struggling, if you are not living your best life. They know it because they are dipped or connected to that sea of consciousness, to your higher self, to their higher selves. And that is how they know all the stuff that they know. All right. So I just wanted to give a little explanation how the cats know so much and why they are so knowledgeable. Yeah, let's just dive right into the conversation that I had. I was asking, why are so many cats crossing over right now? And also, I want to, how should I put this? I want to give you just a little heads up beforehand that cats have a different view when it comes to, let's say, life or death or crossing over. For them, it is more of it's part of life. I'm not saying that nobody wants to die, right? Every living being will fight at the end. Nobody really wants to die. But the cats overall, they have a more natural view of it. They don't fight it. They don't hide it. They don't push it away and say, I don't even want to think or talk about it. The cats know they are very much connected to nature, remember, to their nature. So the cats know that dying is part of living. They are much more aware of it than we are. We always think it's just something we don't want to talk about, right? We don't want to look at it. It's terrible. It's horrible. And the cats, they just accept it more of it's part of life. We come into this world, we get born, we learn, we have experiences, we meet other cats, dogs, horses, people. And then at some point, we're going to leave this physical vessel and we're going to cross back over into the spirit realm or into the soul. Let's call it the spirit realm for lack of a better word. They know that eventually we're going to cross back over into the spirit realm. So for them, dying is not as big as a deal as it is for us. I'm not saying that they want to. Nobody wants to die really, but they accept it more as a fact of life. And when the time comes, they are more calm about it. And so are the other cats. When you have several cats, you may have experienced it that one cat crosses over and you're really heartbroken and you're fighting it and you don't really want to face the reality of it. And the other cat who may have been really good buddies with the cat just goes, it is what it is. And they deal with it better than we do because they just accept it's part of life. Doesn't mean that they don't mourn, because they do mourn. Some more, some less. Everybody's different. They do mourn their companions. They do mourn their humans. But they have a better, deeper, higher understanding of it's just part of life. And they understand that when a cat crosses over or a person crosses over, we're not gone. It's not just like we're gone. We are just going into a different state of being. We're going to a different dimension. We're going back into our energy form. And the cats understand that. The cats are in connection with, if one of your cat dies, your other cats will be in connection with them because their spirit hangs around, their soul hangs around. And your cats are usually in connection with that soul on the other side. So that is how they know that nobody's really gone, because they can remember. Cats can sense energies, they can look into other realms, and the cats just know that they're not gone, they're just in a different form of being. Okay. All right. I just wanted to explain that beforehand so that you know why they talk about it so calmly. And that is why, because they have this bigger picture behind it. They're never gone, they're just in a different form of being. All right. So my initial question was, why are so many cats crossing over right now? And this is what they said. They said, we feel humanity is at a culmination point. Many human topics are breaking open that have been long been swept under the rug. We cats are helping with the purging of emotions on this planet. We catch many of your emotions and become not your sponge or buffer, but your helper. So this to those people who, when I say your cat is helping you purge emotions or carry your life topics, and then some people say, but I don't want my cat to do all this heavy work. I don't want my cat to, to take on my stuff. And yes, they do, but not as your sponge or buffer, but as your helper. They do that out of their own free will because they want to help. So the cats went on to say, so yes, many cats are departing right now, but not because the human inundated them with their stuff. It's more of a conscious decision on a soul level to depart this plane and go back into a more etheric form where we can support our human even better. So this is what I meant when I said it might seem cold when they say we can support our human better on the other side, but they just know that they are stronger on the other side. So they went on to say, we cats are bigger on the other side. We are in a higher form of higher wisdom, and our powers are infinitely more powerful than in the physical. We can help uphold the grid and the love better from the other side. It really is about holding and feeding love into the grid. There is so much negativity and divisiveness and fear being fed into the human grid on the physical plane. And it's easier to hold and uphold the grid and the joy and the love frequencies from the other side, where we, the cats, are not confined to a small body or a physical vessel. So really that's what they're saying. That's the main reason, because they are here to help us uphold the grid, the human grid of consciousness, of humanity. And as we all know, of course, there's a lot of stuff going on right now in the human field. There's a lot of conflicts and divisiveness and all kinds of stuff that's going on. And we all carry that in the human field. And the cats and other animals, by the way, are here to help us feed more love into the grid. And we need more love, right? Everybody needs more love in the grid. So one of the tasks, the joint tasks of the cat, is to feed love and joy into our human field, to make us feel better, to help us elevate. And they're basically saying that they're stronger on the other side. They can feed more love into the grid on the other side, so they can uphold us better when they're in their spirit form. And then I said, but we really want you in the physical. It's right, it's fine and dandy, right? And if you lost a cat, you know that, okay, it's fine and dandy that you helping me from the other side, but I want you in the physical, right? So I said, but we really, really want you here. For us humans, it's hard to see you go because, yes, you may be bigger on the other side and you may be upholding the grid from the other side, but we really want you in the physical. And that's what they said. They said, we feel your pain when we leave you in the physical. But it does not mean that we are gone. On the contrary, many of you can already feel us in the ether, still around you in a soul or spirit form. We are never really gone. And that's something that I hear from my clients more and more, or from people in my community, or people who reach out to me. They say, my cat passed away, but I can actually feel him or her. They're still around me. I can feel them. And that's the beauty in it, that we learn to feel them, that we learn to tap into the ether. So that's one of the, I don't want to say blessings in disguise, but that's one of the things we can take from it as one of the good things that comes out of it, that we start to feel them. We start to feel into the other side, right? They went on to say, we are still your healers, your energy workers, your lovers, your muses from the side. Many people will start to understand that, and start to tune into their departed cats and start to feel them. They'll start a conversation with Beyond the Veil. It will open their class senses, but also their hearts and their minds to what is truly possible for them. So if you have lost a cat recently, or a dog, or even a family member, if you have lost somebody that was really dear to you and you're still reeling from it and you're still saying it's not fair and why did it happen and this is terrible, just try to feel in and try to feel them and try to tune in. This could be the good thing that comes out of it. And I'm not saying anything good comes out of it. I do not want to sound callous or anything. I've lost my mom this year, so I've lost family members this year, two very close family, one of them being my mother a couple of months ago. So I'm not callous when it comes to losing somebody, but they want us to reach out. They want us to feel into them. They want us to train. I mean, for me, it's different because I've been doing this for years and years and years, right? Reaching beyond the veil and speaking with people on the other side, with animals on the other side. So for me, it's kind of second nature by now. But they are saying to regular people who have not done that, people like you, cat lovers, reach out to them, feel them. It's possible for you. Train your clear senses. And that can be just, let's say, a little silver lining in their passing, that you can train your clear senses because you will stretch, you will try, right? Because you want to feel them. So you will make an effort that otherwise you might not make. Just take that as a little gem that is in it. If you have lost any loved one, it doesn't matter. Try to feel them, try to reach out to them. They are still there. They're still protecting you, they're still loving you, they're still doing whatever it is that they're doing for you. So they went on to say, if you recently lost your beloved cat, then we want to invite you to make a connection. This is the cat speaking now. Make contact with them now or after the summit. Call them in, ask Sylvie for help, or call them into your field and feel them. And for some of you, it might be easier to feel them around you than to talk to them because it takes a certain routine or a certain technique maybe to talk to them, but you can feel them. Just feel if you can feel their energy, their personality, their heart and soul. Just feel them. And the cats went on to say, ask them questions. How are you still helping me? Am I reading you right? Anything you'd like to share with me? And by connecting with your cat on the other side, your clear senses and your intuition will grow and expand. So that can be the little silver lining or the little gem that you can find in somebody losing somebody or somebody crossing over. Lean in, hone your intuition, hone in your clear senses, and you might be really surprised what you can do, how limitless you are, that you can actually do this. Anyone can do this. All right. So I was asking at this point, I said, are you saying your departing is a blessing in disguise? And the cat said, if that is how you want to put it, let's say it's an opportunity for your growth and getting to the next level. It will be invaluable for you to get in touch with your cat beyond the veil and understand how we still help you grow and evolve and expand your consciousness beyond what you thought was possible. All right. I asked at this point, because they said upholding the grid, right? They said they're feeding love into the grid. So I asked them, are you upholding the grid for everyone, for all of humanity, or just for your specific human that you just left? And they said, we uphold the grid for everyone, yet we are doing so specifically, usually for our last human that we spend our life with. That is why it really is a service to you when we depart rather than leaving you behind. And believe me, they feel our pain and they're here right now. I don't know whether you want to close your eyes for a moment and feel into the cat collective or feel into if you have any cats that have, or dogs or horses or loved ones that have left you recently. Just feel in for a moment and feel how they're still there. They're loving you and they are saying it's a service to us. And as I said, again, I do not want to sound callous. I did lose my mom. But again, my mom told me everything is fine. It needed to happen that way. It needed to happen fast. She is of service to me and to all of her loved ones on the other side. So I just want to, if you have a hard time thinking that or feeling that, I really want to, I'm inviting to stretch you a little bit, stretch beyond this is terrible, this shouldn't have happened, they should be here. Just stretch for a moment, just feel in and feel that peace that is around them on the other side, the love that they still have, and how they are of service to us on the other side. Cats, humans, it really doesn't matter at this point. And then Cats went on to say, but we understand the physical plane works differently, and we do feel your pain when we are not with you anymore. So they do know that we're grieving. And then I asked at this point, do you have any other advice for grieving cat lovers? Because there are a lot of grieving cat lovers here. Do you have any other advice for them when you cross over? What should we do? What should we not do? Any other advice when your human is grieving? And they said, just let it be. When our soul decides to cross over, it is what it is. Please, dear human, don't blame yourself or don't feel guilty about not having reacted fast enough or about the course of action that you did or did not take. It is never a mistake when we cross over. And I know that from a lot of people that I've worked with, there's usually always guilt from a cat lover's perspective, because there's always these thoughts. Did I not see it early enough? If I had reacted earlier, if I had taken my cat to the vet earlier, if I had not let my cat outside on that day, if I had just taken it more seriously, right? We all know that. I mean, including me. I lost my 3 beloved cats 4 years ago. And even I, knowing what I know, even I had these thoughts. Should I have reacted earlier? Should I have gone to a different vet? Should I have done this? Should I have done that? It's normal to feel that way or to think that way. But the cats say it's never a mistake. It is never a mistake. Please do not blame yourself. Do not feel guilty. The cats went on to say, know that our soul chose this route so we can be of greatest service to you and your fellow humans. We uphold your grid or field of love around you, which is what you need to go to the next level in your evolution. So they say it's never a mistake. It had to happen exactly that way. Please do not feel guilty. And I hear that all the time. So if you feel guilty about your cat of not having done something or having done something or whatever it is, drop the guilt. Your cat does not want you to feel guilty. They want you to know that they chose this. They needed to exit exactly at this moment, exactly at the time when they did. All right. I want to encourage you to see the silver lining, or to see and the word eludes me that I want to say here, because I had 3 cats that I love dearly, Lenny, Lisa, and Jamie. They were my prior trio of 2 cats, and they were with me for, one was 13, the other 2 were almost 18. And they were my family members. They were my cats. They were the ones who made me into the cat whisperer. And they were with me through thick and thin, through everything. And then they were always healthy. Their entire lives, they were always healthy. So out of the blue, really, all 3 of them crossed over within a half a year from each other. I think it was the toughest time in my entire life, this year, where they were all sick. All of a sudden, they all got sick, and then they all crossed over, one after another. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, my heart was breaking with each one of them that departed. Yet I managed, and that's why I'm telling you the story. I would like to invite you to see the silver lining, to see and I still can't think of the word that Lisa used back then. She was the first one who crossed over. It's this lady here. My lady Lisa, who was on the cover of my first book with me. She was the first one who crossed over. And it happened really, really fast. She crossed over in my arms, and it was pretty fast. She was sick for a couple of days, and then it was the day where I knew, okay, it's happening now. There wasn't even any discussion anymore. Should we take her to the vet? Because I just knew it's happening now. So she was in my arms, and it was hard, but also I was very calm throughout the entire, and I always was somebody who did not want to look death in the face. It was something that I don't talk about it. I don't want to think about it. And she opened me up to this whole realm that dying is not falling asleep, it's waking up. And the gem, the gift that's the word that I want to use. The gift that was in it for me was that I was there every step of the way. And her guides, and she and my guides, they showed me all the stages. They basically showed me, okay, now the organs are starting. Now this is happening. Now that is happening. I saw when they opened a portal of light. I was holding her, and then I heard and I saw that they were opening a portal of light. And there was all these other beings, cats and other beings, they were waiting there for her. And then I heard them say, now we're cutting the silver cord. And then a few seconds later, she stopped breathing. And I saw all the stages. And then as she stopped breathing, I literally saw her soul going through that portal of light. And I was crying. It was hard, but it was a gift in it that I got to see everything that happened. They explained to me everything that happened from the etheric point of view. And I felt her going through the portal of light, but then just being there in her true form and being happy and not in pain anymore. And I got to witness everything. And that to me was the gift that she gave me. And after that, dying lost the horror or the whatever it was before for me. It just became a more normal part of life. So that was the gift that I got through it. And was I heartbroken? Yes. Did I miss her? Yes. Did I count the days? Okay, day 1 without Lisa, day 2 without Lisa, day 3 without Lisa. Was I crying my eyes out when I brought her to the cremation place? Yes. But the gift that she had given me to be there, to witness this, to see that, and also to be there from the other side, it was an immense gift. And I've never been the same since. So I saw the gift in it. And I want to invite you too to see the gift in your cat's party. And then my next cat, and I don't want to go into all the personal stories, but my next cat, Jamie, he passed away 3-4 months later, and I couldn't believe it. I said, no, not another one. No, 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 I'm not giving you up. And I was clinging to him day by day by day. I was getting up in the middle of the night to give him meds. I was fighting for him. I said, I'm not losing another cat, not on my watch. And then he showed me basically that the gift there was that when I took him to the vet, they said, this is it. We don't know how this cat is still standing. And I agreed to the vet giving them the shot, basically. And I had always been against that. I always said, why do cats and dogs, why do they need to be euthanized? Just let them die naturally, like humans, right? But on that day, I realized what a blessing it was for him to be at the vet. And Jamie said, please let the vet help us. He said, you're clinging to me, you're not letting me go, I need to go, I feel really, really bad, I need to go, you're clinging to me, you won't let me go, please let the vet help us. So I agreed to the vet. I was there and I was holding him also, and I saw how peaceful that was, how peaceful he crossed over in my arms after getting the shot from the vet. And that opened up a whole new world to me, because okay, I was always against the shot. I was always said, let them die at home, let them die naturally. And then I saw how painless that was. Now he had asked me, please, 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 I want this. So that opened me. That was another gift. That is, okay, I guess not all the shots are bad, right? Everybody chooses their way of going out. Anyway, so these were the gifts that I received, and it changed everything. My whole perception of dying, of crossing over, of what to do, of what not to do when the cats were sick. It opened me up to a lot. And I want to invite you to also see the gift in it, see the silver lining in it, see the little gem that you get out of it. Yes, they're not there anymore in the physical. Do I still miss him? Yes, like crazy. But I also gave my heart to other cats, and I have them with me in the ether. My 3 cats, they are always with me in the ether. They're always around me. I call them in twice a day in my meditation morning, before I go to bed in the evening. I feel them around me. And you can do that too. So let that just be my invitation to open yourself up to the possibility that there is a silver lining in their passing, that they're still there, the other side helping you. All right. So let's go to the last question that I had about how to treat them when they're not feeling well. And as I said, this has nothing to do with taking them to the vet or not, because you should always take them to the vet, right? I do not want to give a medical diagnosis. This is more about when they're not feeling well, when they come back from the vet, or when they're down out with something, how should we best handle a situation? And this is what the cat said. They said, try and keep your worry and stress levels down. Just be who you are and keep normality going. We can best recover when you, dear human, are not stressing or trying to help by hovering or showering us with too much attention. They're saying, yes, please do send us love and healing. Yes, please do give us some attention. But don't focus on us by hovering over a sick bed, because this feeds more stress and expectations and worry into us. Give us loving space to recoup and regenerate until we are fully back to normal. Basically, it's when you're too worried. I'm not saying don't be worried when your cat is sick, because you're a cat mom or a cat dad. You will be worried when your cat is sick. We all are. I mean, including me. When it comes to my cats, I'm a cat mom. I'm worried, right? But don't let the worry get the best of you. Don't sit there and cry over them all the time. Don't feed all your stress and all your worry into them, because they literally cannot recover. When we put all that worry and stress into them, they cannot recover. We're not doing them a service. So the more we pull out, the more we are in a state of allowance of, it is what it is. My cat's sick right now. I'm going to do the best that I can. I'm going to give him the best care, but I will also pull back and not hover and not feed all that stress and worry into the cat, because it doesn't help. I mean, for a person too, by the way. If you have a person in the house who's sick and you're worried and stressed out all the time, you are not helping them regenerate. You're just putting more stress and more worry onto them. And then they can't get better because they pick up all your stress and all your worry. So this is what the cat said, and if we don't recover, then see what we shared above. It was our time to leave the earthly plane, and there's really nothing you could have done to prevent it. If our soul chooses to cross over, then it was a conscious decision from the cat side, and your own soul or higher self knowing the higher meaning behind it. We know it doesn't take away the pain on an emotional level, but do know that we love you eternally, no matter where we are. We love you so, so, so much, the cats. So this was it from the cat's part, what I channeled from them. But to stay on the topic of your sick cat for a moment longer, I just gave a little checklist here. And again, I like to share personal stories so that you know that I'm a cat mom just like everybody else, or cat dads out there. Hello to the cat dads. I love it that there's so many cat dads now. And sometimes we cannot help it that we worry. Obviously, if a cat is sick, cat's recovering, we can help it that we worry. But I just want to give you a little checklist of what to do and what not to do, or what to try to do. And again, I want to share a little story of myself. One of my cats, Leon, who was a really healthy baby boy, is 4 years old, so he's still really young and he's always healthy. And I had to take him into the cat clinic for a tooth extraction. He had a teeth cleaning and they had to extract 2 or 3 teeth, unfortunately. So he was coming home and he was really very heavily drugged. They gave him so much medication that he was completely out of it. And they say that most cats are going to be a little funny maybe for a day or two, but it's nothing to worry about. Let me tell you, Leon was not a little funny. He was completely out of it for 4 days. It took 4 days. He was hallucinating. It seemed like he was on a bad mushroom trip or something, seriously, like he was on a bad LSD trip or something. He was hallucinating. It was very jumpy. He was like he was seeing things or something, and he was not himself. He didn't sleep for the first 24 hours. So it was pretty scary. And so I was kind of out of it. I was very stressed out. And I had the same pangs of, although I know better, right? But when it comes to my own cats, I can't help it. I'm emotional. So I brought him home. I said, great. I took a very healthy cat to the vet this morning. I'm coming home with a sick cat. Now he's lying here. He's not sleeping. He has all these issues. His sister, Sheila, was hissing at him. So I want nothing to do with him because he acts funny. So I tried to calm down. I know I had to calm down. I had to calm down because he wasn't sleeping. Everybody was just really off. And I knew from my own teachings, right, because I teach this stuff, I knew that I was the one who needed to get it together. And I asked Leon, I said, okay, Leon, what do you need? What do you want? I tuned into him. I said, what do you want? What do you need? And he showed me, and it's so interesting to see yourself through the cat's eyes. So he showed me how I was standing there from the other room and how I was always eyeing him like a hawk. I was eyeing him. Okay, is he okay? What is he doing now? What is he doing now? Is he okay? Should I do something? Should I help him with something, right? So I was just always eyeing. I was hovering over him like a hawk. And he was showing me, it's not helping, Mom. Right? Knock it off. It's not helping. Just leave me. Just let me be. And that's when I said, okay, yeah, I see myself through his eyes. I was a helicopter mom. I was helicoptering him. So I said, okay, what I have to do now, I just have to let him be. He's got water. He's got food. He's got everything. He can lie down if he wants to. I got to pull back. So what I did was that I sat down and watched television. I poured myself a glass of wine, yes, because red wine calms me down. Whatever it is for you that calms you down, do that. I poured myself a glass of red wine and I sat down in front of the TV and I picked a TV show where I had to actually engage. where I had to really engage and really pay attention with plot twists and whatnot. So, yeah, I was watching a TV show. I sat down and watched a show that would engage me, that would pull my attention away from Leon onto the screen. I was sipping my wine, and out of the corner of my eye, after 5, 10 minutes, I saw Leon relaxing. And he picked a spot and he went to lie down, he went to sleep. So all it took was to take my focus, my attention off him. I had to do something for me. I had to do something for everybody. Calm down, relax, and whatever it is for you, right? It doesn't have to be television for you. It doesn't have to be red wine for you, but whatever relaxes you. For some people, that might be reading or knitting or going for a walk or going out in nature into your yard and cutting flowers or yoga or meditation or whatever it is for you that calms you down, that takes your focus off your sick cat and just bring the energy down your house, do that. Okay, please do that. So it's really all about be there for them lovingly, but don't hover over them. Don't helicopter them because we're not helping. The moment 5 minutes after I pulled my attention away from Leon, he settled down. Everybody settled down for that matter. We had a very quiet evening after that. No hissing, no growling, nothing, because I focused my attention elsewhere and not on my sick cat. It doesn't mean that I wasn't there for him, but I was just holding loving space in my heart. And yes, I had my eyes sometimes would go to him. Is he still okay? It's all about being for them lovingly, but don't hover. All right. Give them space or sit with them. Either if they want space, the first evening, Leon wanted space. He would sit under the bed for 2 hours at a time, and I let him. I checked every once in a while, but I gave him his space. The next 2 days, he was still out of it, but he wanted me to sit with him. So I grabbed my computer. I sat next to him wherever he was. I had my computer with him, and I sat with him, and he enjoyed that. So either give them space if they want space, or sit with them and give them attention. What, not attention in the sense of hovering over them, but just be with them if they want your company, and leave them alone if they don't want your company. They know best what they need. Send out that everything will be fine. That's what I did. Everything's going to be fine. Thank you for the great outcome. Thank you for the magnificent outcome is always my term that I use when I feel I can control a situation, when I feel that I'm out of my waters here, when I feel that I really want this to be okay, I just send out, okay, everything's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. He's going to come out of it. And I sent that out into the universe. And I said, thank you for the magnificent outcome. It will be over when it's over, right? And then after 4 days, it was over. He was back to normal. And everybody just went about their merry ways. And number 4, last but not least, on my little list here, do some energy healing. If you know how to do energy healing, do any healing modalities that you know how to do. If you don't know how to do energy healing, you can go to my website and look up my classes. I have currently 2 classes on there about energy healing for cats specifically, because there are some methods that work really, really well for cats, and they usually respond really well to it. So do some energy healing for them. Don't overdo it. You don't have to sit there and just force healing on them, but do some energy healing. They respond really well to that. All right. So these are 3 or 4 ways that you can help your cat when they are sick. Most important thing is don't project your worry and fear onto them. Be normal, or as normal as possible, and just be there for them and hold loving space for them. And of course, as I always say, take your cat to the vet. Don't just do all that. If you haven't taken your cat to the vet, please check with the vet. But this is more so when you come back from the vet, this is the tips that I'm giving you here. All right. Yeah, I'm at the end of what I want to share today. I've recently renewed or overhauled my website. It's all under sylviesterling.com now. All my classes are now under one roof. I have energy healing for cats classes. I have a communicate with cats in spirit class. So if you want to learn to get in touch with your cat in spirit, then check out that class. I'll give you all the information, how you can best, and you can practice how you can best tune into your cat in spirit. Or if you want to check out my membership or my one-on-one sessions, I do have some slots still available, not too many. So if you want to have a private session, please reach out. Everything's on my website. All right. So let me go to your questions. This concludes the official part.